Today we have Eric Hammond. Hi, Eric.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Eric Hammond is the owner of Orange Stack, which is a digital marketing company here in San Diego. Today he's going to talk about how to spend money on Facebook and also how to get the most bang for your buck. Eric, tell us all about Facebook.
So Facebook is huge, right? They hit 2 billion followers this year, 2017, and it became officially the largest platform. Almost, if you combine all the other platforms together, it's still bigger than that. So what a better mouthpiece than a large social media platform where everybody spends all their time. You know, the average person right now is on Facebook for 20 minutes. And so you have a huge time to capture their attention. You have the ability to get free content out there, which is great, but you can also spend money too. So that's what we're going to be talking about today.
You said 20 minutes. Is it 20 minutes a day total per person? Or like they are actually like on Facebook for a total of 20 minutes?
Yeah, what happens is the people's mindsets are changing now. So instead of, listening to commercials on the radio and changing the channel and doing little 5-minute increments of things, now the average person devotes 20-minute segments to Facebook 18 times a day.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time. So for real estate agent, you should be doing a lot of marketing through Facebook, organic, or doing even Facebook ads. So let's talk about Facebook ads.
Yeah, you bet. So the way to think about it too is that you have 20 minutes to capture someone's attention. So you've got to be bold, you got to be direct, you got to get something that's going to get their attention right off the hand and capture them in and then tell them a story. So 85% of content that people consume is consume muted. So whether it's a picture or text, that's great, but if you're going to have a video like this, you got to get their attention right off the bat. So being in an interesting area or being able to hold up a sign and say, hey, watch this, or turn off mute, listen to what I'm going to say, I have value to share with you, that's key. You want to get your content to be in that 2 to 5 minute range so that people have time to consume it and kind of move on with the other things that they're looking for, because they're looking for their friends or want to check in with things. But you have a golden opportunity to capture their attention for 5 minutes, give them something really powerful that's probably going to change how they're thinking that day or what they're thinking about real estate and what you're going to do. So I guess the question you're probably going to ask is, what do I say, right? And how do I get a message across that's going to be relevant for my audience?
Yes, and I like because you said telling a story, because maybe people try to sell too much and they need to stop selling and start telling a story or bringing value to the consumer, right?
Yeah. So most of my day, I actually go through a lot of your guys' profiles to see what you guys are doing, what's working, what's happening on Facebook, to see how I can help you guys do better with your channels. A lot of people, unfortunately, are going out to the house, they're holding up their phone, they're taking a picture in front of the house and saying, hey, I just listed this new property on 123 Main Street, come over, check it out, see what we have, check out the view. They're selling that product. And if people want to buy a house, they know where to find it. They know about Zillow, they know about Realtor.com, they know about their agents, they know where to find a house. They don't need you to tell them about every single house that's listed on the market. You've got to tell your story and stand out as a real estate agent. So if I'm the real estate agent of my farm and I'm going to be amazing and I'm going to try to stand out, what am I going to do different than the other thousands of real estate agents that are probably out in your same county right now trying to do the same thing as you? So what's the story that you're going to tell? Why is real estate important to you, and how are you going to help your client and be different than everybody else out there?
Now, when you talk about story, I know you said 5 minutes, but if you do a video, should it be less than 5 minutes or more like 1 minute? I know when I talk to a marketing person, sometimes I said, well, you need to get the most content the first 30 seconds, because after that, your audience drop by half.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Is 5 minutes too long?
It can be. There's different strategies. If you're live on a show like this and you're having this kind of environment, Facebook actually recommends that you stay on a platform like this for 18 minutes to capture the people's attention. Wow. So people are on constantly enough that they're going to get a crowd. So if you want to do this type of a show, do something that's 18 to 20 minutes long. You have to have a lot of content to share for 18 minutes, and you got to keep them engaged. We hope that you don't get bored watching this and leave, right? But if you're going to have short pieces of digestible information, it needs to be short. It needs to be 60 seconds to maybe 3-4 minutes max. It's, hey, here's some quick tips, boom, 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 or I just experienced this, or my client was just going through this and he got rejected on this offer. This is what we can learn from it. Here's how I'm going to help you. So little bits of information that are going to help your clients do better on their next transaction.
So real estate agents should be doing Facebook ads. It's like a must these days.
It is.
Why?
Well, Facebook just made another update. About 2 days ago, Mark got up on stage and basically said, if you're a business and you want to get your content shared, you have to spend money. a few months ago, about 6% of the people that followed you were able to see your content for free, which means if I had 100 followers as a business, only 6 people were actually able to see the organic content that I shared. But now as a business, Facebook's here to make money, guys. They're trying to get your content out in front of people, so you actually have to spend money now as a business to be heard.
So let's talk about spending money. How do you know how much to spend? Because it's very easy with Facebook to spend a lot of money.
It is.
How should we budget?
Yeah. And so we've worked with clients who said, hey, I got into Facebook and I went big. I wrote a check the first month and I spent $1,000 and nothing happened. And that could be a big mistake because you don't know the audience that you're speaking to. You need to start out with a small amount, kind of figure out who's going to listen, what kind of actions are going to take, and what's going to happen from there. So I know that we have a wide variety of people who watch this show. I would recommend you go find a house to promote this weekend. It's Tuesday. You have a couple days to get ready for your open houses. Plan on spending $20 over the next couple days. Go shoot a 3 or 4 minute video in front of that house and tell everybody how amazing the house is, about the views, about the programs that are available for you as a buyer to buy this property, and spend $20 to go find an audience that's around that house that makes sense for that client to buy that house, and just see what happens with $20. You're going to get impressions, which means people are going to watch your video. They're going to start being aware of who you are. They're going to see your face. They're going to recognize your brand. And then you can follow up with more money after that to see if I can get them to take an action. So the first time that somebody sees you online is more just telling me about who I am and why I'm doing it and about this house. The next time is, are you thinking about selling, or have you been looking for a home in this area? Can I help you get to that point? So it's kind of a multi-touch approach, but the first one needs to be kind of that $20 per week budget.
So let's talk about cost per lead. I see in many real estate groups, everyone talk about, well, I only pay $2 a lead, or I pay $10 a lead. How do you define the cost of a lead, and is it really based on your market is the cost of the lead?
It is, yeah. And so a lot of our clients are working on Zillow right now. They work not exclusively with Zillow, but that's a big chunk of their marketing budget, and they're spending anywhere from $500 to $5,000 to get a phone number and a name. That client may or may not pick up the phone. They may not know that you're calling. They may not be aware of what's going on. And the value of what you pay, sure, you can get a name and a number out of somebody for $2, but what are they expecting on the other end of that? Are they expecting you to come over and list their house? Probably not. They may be just having a couple of questions about the home that they saw you in front of. And so the more you pay, hopefully the better of a quality you're going to get. But I would say based on the experience we're seeing, you're probably going to be right about $20 to $40 for a qualified lead, somebody who actually wants you to come into their home and talk to them about real estate and has the potential to say yes or no to working with you.
So we're talking more about the quality of the lead more than the quantity. It's better to pay $10 or $20 a lead, but you know this is a warm lead and that person is ready to make a move.
Yeah.
Any trick you suggest?
I was just going to say, if you're starting out too, and this is the first week of real estate and you haven't closed a lot of your leads, if you get 100 leads and you only close one, you probably want a lot of $2 leads to kind of see how that conversation rolls and practice your scripts on them and see how online conversion works. If you close 1 out of 3, you're probably willing to spend $100+ to get a really qualified lead that's going to make a decision.
Any little trick you can help us when you do your Facebook ads to make the lead more valuable?
Yeah, and so the message is clear. Having something really interesting and engaging is going to be a big part of it. If you've got, unfortunately, a boring white wall and you're standing there and monotone and not that exciting to listen to, they're probably going to keep scrolling past it. So you need to use the free stock images that Facebook provides you if you're trying to capture a photo to get people engaged. If you have the opportunity to do a video, everyone's got one of these cell phones in their pockets. Go out to a beautiful property and find something that you can use for your free background and make it interesting and have a very clear call to action. The more clear you are, the higher the quality of your content is, the better it's going to come across, and the more likely you're going to get clicks and actions taken from that. So quality is super important.
What about not the front, but behind the scene, which is when you have to pick your audience, or any little trick you can help us with that?
Yeah, so one thing we're seeing too is a lot of people are kind of getting too big on their audience. They're having an audience that shows up on the side of 50,000 people, but they only want to spend $20. You're only going to reach maybe 1,000 of those 50,000 people. So if you can whittle that down to maybe an 8,000 to 12,000 person audience, Facebook's going to know a little bit more about those people. You can search for terms like likely to move, or recently looked at Zillow, or been on Realtor.com. These are the indicators that Facebook knows about the people that you're trying to reach that say, hey, I am in the market for a house, or I am making these decisions. You can weed people down by demographic of saying, look, I'm selling a $500,000 house. they need to make this kind of an income to live here. So I don't want to talk to the people that, unfortunately are working at $10 an hour jobs. I need to be able to speak to the people that can buy this house. So whittle down your audience as much as you can to know about what they're interested in that area, and that's going to help you a lot.
So being more specific, and even if you see your audience being very, very low, it can be a good thing because it's probably a better lead. So let's say I'm in Carlsbad, which is in San Diego County. I will get better leads if I focus on Carlsbad, because that's where I am as an agent, than putting San Diego County.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, agents will go wherever they have to sell a house in today's market. But you also want to set up that farm. The tighter that you can make that, try to find a farm that has less than 1,000 homes geographically and create your social farm around that. Map that out on Facebook. But then also, if you're into golf and your home that you're selling is near a golf course, target the golfers. Target the people that have hobbies that relate to living in this community. Don't target people who ski and they live in San Diego because they have to travel a long ways to go skiing. You want to get the people that want to live in this area, and again, whittle down that audience. If you're casting a big net, it makes sense, but you have to have a bigger budget. So you may be able to cast a net over the whole San Diego County, but you probably want to be budgeting about $10,000 a month to hit that whole area.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're all expensive.
Yeah, it is.
So now we see just listed ad, just sold, open house. Which one are the best for bang for the buck with all the different way we can attract leads?
Yeah, so your lowest cost per lead is going to be buyers. Buyers are plentiful. There's a lot of them out there. They're going to bounce around depending on how you speak to them, who they're working with. But buyers can be great. The more expensive lead is going to be the seller because they probably have an agent who's a friend, who they trust. They may not be the best person for that job, but they're going to trust them and probably go to them over a stranger. The buyers are looking for the access to that house. So they're going to go straight to the person who probably has that listing. They're going to be finding the people that are willing to show them 1,000 houses. So you've got to know how to weed through the clients that are going to come to you. But it's more economical on Facebook to use it to find buyers, but you can also use the platform if you have the right message to find the sellers too. It's just a little bit different of a message, and being able to provide that value, again, to stand out and saying, how can I bring the seller more value? Am I going to be able to sell your house for more money? Am I going to charge you a lower interest rate? Hopefully not. Hopefully I'm providing something that's going to get you more money at the end of this transaction and separate you from the rest.
Yes, and there is many ways to get buyer leads from Facebook. You have your just listed. If you have a listing, the open house. I'm sure the open house is probably one of the best one on Facebook when it comes to buyer leads. Price reduction. Price reduce, you can probably get some pretty good buyer leads. I think if you're new to, a lot of people that we work with are new and they don't have a lot of transactions to advertise and they're trying to find somebody to work with. Most brokerages are okay with you advertising other agents in that office. So go talk to one of the top producers in your office and say, hey, I'm new, I'm willing to pay for Facebook ads. Can I come hold an open house for your home this weekend and spend $100 on an ad? Go shoot a video from it, try to capture some leads. You still get to sell the house as that agent, but I want to try to capture some of the buyers. Most top producing agents are kind of happy with that. They're getting exposure, they're helping you. It's win-win for everybody. So do the best you can, and that agent's probably going to be able to give you more business in the future too. Do you think Facebook is the way to go when you want buyer leads comparing to other platforms?
It can be, and again, you're going to be able to get to the message and the audience that wants to work with you. If you're on a platform like Zillow and you're trying to capture these leads, Zillow sells leads to a lot of the same people. So you may be calling and other agents will be calling, and again, it's the ability that you have to close somebody. So much conversation is happening on social media that you can see people who are communicating with you, who are liking your ads, and you can actually go out and direct message them and comment to them saying, hey, I saw that you watched my video. You can get really specific here. I noticed you watched my video, that you live in this area. Are you on the market to buy a house? And message them directly. You can't have those conversations on Zillow unless they pick up the phone.
Now, let's go back to the leads. And we're talking about, hey, sometimes it's better to pay more for the leads than having a better quality leads. But how do you know when maybe you do pay $20 for leads, but you're not really targeting the right audience and you're not getting where you're at? When can you say, okay, I need to stop right now and start from scratch?
So you've got to set a bar or a line in the sand of saying this is kind of the average. A lot of our clients will start out and start capturing leads at $10, $20 a lead, and something changes in the ad, and overnight the ad cost goes up. You might spend $40 and $50, to capture those same leads, something happened. Your audience changed, the way that people are seeing it changed. It's not a set it and forget it and let me let this ad run for 6 months and I've got my whole year of marketing taken care of. It's a constant upkeep. Every couple of days you got to be looking at it, you got to monitor it, you got to see, is it optimized? Am I still able to reach the market? Maybe you go through those 12,000 people and they've all seen that ad once. Start changing the picture or add a new video or a different message. You got to keep it fresh and relevant. And again, keep it interesting that people want to watch that. So it's knowing your numbers and really seeing what's going on.
Should you change your ads every 30 days or every 2-3 months, even if the ads is doing great?
If it's doing great, I would probably leave it and just make sure that it's staying there. If you're consistently getting $10 per lead cost and it's staying the same, leave it, but add other hooks along the way. So maybe you can market to people that have seen these ads with other hooks and trying to lower that cost. So again, with Facebook, you have the opportunity to hit people 5, 10, 15 times with the same audience, but different messages, because it's not always going to be the same message that gets everybody. Not everybody wants to sell, and not everybody wants to buy. Some people are just ready to look on the fence and they want to talk. Maybe somebody's interested in buying a rental portfolio with duplexes and triplexes that you want to hit too. So you just got to know what messages are people interested in. Always be testing. Put something up for $20, see what happens. If it doesn't work, take it down and try something else.
Testing, I like that. Testing your ads, you think you should test for 24 hours or 2 hours and you get a result? What will give you a good message? And also, what about the time frame? Are you able to test, okay, I just want my ads just in the evening or just on the weekend? How does it work?
Yeah, you can get really specific. You can say, I only want my ad to be shown Friday at 5 o'clock till 6 o'clock. That's what's cool about Facebook. It's not like a billboard where you put it up for 3 months and hope for the best. It's great. You can get very customized and specific to Facebook. So no on the 2 hours, yes on the 24, meaning that you've got to put something up and just don't touch it. The problem is people put something up and they think, oh, I better add that more audience, or let me change my budget, or let me widen my radius. And once you tweak it, Facebook says, look, you're making changes. I don't know how to handle this anymore. And you can actually screw up the ad and it's not going to perform at all. So once you put something up, spend a day deciding that this is the ad that's going to make sense. Don't just throw something up in an hour and hope that it works. Spend some time thinking about it, who your audience is, and then leave it alone for probably 4 days and just let it be. Don't set the budget super high, but try something and then add to it. Maybe you spend $20 over 4 days and you say, okay, this is working. Now I can scale to 100 or 200 or more. Maybe now I want to change this or add that, but just put it up and leave it alone for a little bit and see what happens.
Perfect. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah.
I understand you are going to do a boot camp in April. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
We're really excited for this. So again, there's so many real estate agents out there that have a personal Facebook page. They know how to share cat videos. They know how to like friends and say happy birthday, but they don't know how to use Facebook for a business. There's 16 million business accounts right now in the US, and it almost doubles now every single year. So if you're not on a business account, which is free to set up, you need to be. So we're going to be creating a boot camp that goes all the way from the beginning of how to set up a business page to very advanced strategies of how to retarget audiences and have pixels and all sorts of stuff that's just going to complicate most of you, but it's going to be great. There's going to be a lot of information. It's going to be homework. It's going to be intensive. It's going to be great. So look forward to that. It's coming in April.
Perfect. Yes, because you do need a business account to do Facebook ads. You cannot do Facebook ads just with a personal Facebook account.
Yeah. So break past the scarcity and go get a business account. And that's actually, thank you for bringing that up. We have a link in the description. Actually, we have a video available for you guys that we created. It's about an hour long, and it talks about kind of the basics of how to go from your personal account and set up a business page. It's not that complicated, but there's a lot of options, and we work your way through that. How do I set up the page? How do I name it? How do I get some interesting pictures on here? Where do I find content to put on here? How do I share posts? How do I start getting followers? And then how do I spend that first dollar on Facebook and feel comfortable that it's going in the right direction? So in the link, look for that.
Perfect. We might have questions. Shall we look?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a bunch of stuff that's popped up here.
Okay. Let's see. These black men, what do you think about HomeSnap Facebook ads? They offer ads after every closing.
I don't know a ton about HomeSnap. I know that there's a lot of programs out there that you can kind of tie in together with your MLS account and with your CRM, and it basically kind of creates a self-published thing that you just hit submit, and it goes out there to your Facebook audience. You still have to create the audience, But it's an easy kind of once and done kind of a thing. The problem is it's pretty generic and it's not maybe going to apply to your audience. So if you're just trying to figure things out, that may be a good way to test the waters and see what happens. But you definitely want to get to the point where you're starting to make it more of a custom message for your audience.
Well, and I think HomeSnap is good when you want to do it like on your listing as a just listed. So I don't think you have the option with HomeSnap to do like an open house or I think when you are original with your Facebook ad and it's coming from you, you will get a better audience and you will get better quality leads, right?
Social, right? It's social. It's about you and your personality. It's not about business all the time. You have to be human behind it and relate that message.
Yes. Let's see. We have another question. With the recent change to the Facebook new feeds, will you be adjusting your ad strategy?
We are. We're still learning about it. Again, it's been out for 3 days now, so it's still very new. If you just Google the Mark Zuckerberg Facebook update, you can learn a lot about it and see what's really happened. We're going to actually be creating some content about that, so look for that on our Orange Stack page.
Let me see. There is.
What?
No, we're good. We're good.
Oh.
Minor interruptions.
Minor interruption.
We're doing Q&A. You have a question?
We're doing Q&A. I think there's another one that I can't see it. No, I think we're good.
Need a bigger monitor.
So going back to Rob, yes, it does change all the time. That's the problem with Facebook. How do you keep up with it as a digital marketer?
Crazy.
That's a good question.
I had this conversation the other day. So Facebook has at any given time 10,000 different versions of it out there available. So you have a different account than I have versus everybody else out there. So what I'm talking about, some of it may not even be available to you guys because we spend money differently than you guys. And so if you have a bigger audience or a smaller audience and how you use it, Facebook's trying new things all the time. So it's constantly updating. Every week there's 5 to 10 different updates. So it's always on the change. You got to be just trying new things, playing with it. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. So it's an ever-changing world and you got to keep up on it.
Keep up on it. And they probably have like Facebook group or you can get some update, right?
Yeah. Number one, go find Facebook groups. There's a lot of things that are specific about social media marketing. There's a lot of video content out there. Again, Facebook does a pretty good job of letting you know what's going on. One of my favorite podcasts that I love listening to is called The Social Media Examiner. They have thousands of followers. They actually do an event here in San Diego for a couple of days, and it just basically helps content creators and ad strategists help them make the most of their ad accounts. But again, you always have access to us. We love to give you guys content. We do this show as often as we can and sharing what we learn about it.
And you do offer consulting too.
Yeah, we do consulting. We help you guys basically make the most of your accounts. And if you want to do it yourself, that's great. We're here to help you and hold your hand and show you how to make these ads and make the most of your accounts.
Perfect. Do we have any more questions? No, I think we're good to go.
Yeah. That's it.
Perfect.
Message me if you got any more specific questions. I love hearing from you guys. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.